4-0 in the end. Did you expect it to be that big a gap?
Honestly, no. I think, in fairness to Bantry Bear Rovers, they've shown at various stages throughout the year that they can hang with the best teams. We spoke about it before the cup final itself. Beating Dunmanway Town on their home ground, and they've generally not conceded an awful lot of goals in some of the games when they've had their full team out. So it's disappointing for them. Yes, a 4-0 scoreline doesn't look great, but I think anyone that was here for the full 90 minutes for most of the first half, they matched Drina. They were more than a match for them. I think that first half goal kind of edged it Drina's way, but it was the 2 goals immediately after the break that really hurt them. And I know Danny Peters, and I know the lads that play in defence for Bear Rovers, and conceding 2 goals from free kicks like that, pretty routine, would be disappointing. But you have to look at the overall scheme of things for a team that was relegated just recently and that is having a phenomenal year underage in the West Cork Schoolboys League. The future is still very, very bright for Bantry.
Did you, when the teams went in at half time, and obviously again it was a very tight game, even though you would kind of say overall Drina had the control of it and obviously had the goal, did you expect it to turn so fast in the second half?
No, I mean, when you see JJ Hurley knocking in the header, it's going to be your day. No offence, JJ is a great defender, but for the size of him to get up and to plant the header in the back of the net, and I think they panicked a little bit. I think I spoke to Danny Peters just after the game, and they were trying to change things around a bit, and it was a great goal by Barry Driscoll, the 1-2, just to put it into the bottom corner, and you worried for them then. I know when the heads go, and it can, a team like Drina who are clinical and very, very good at finishing. Jago hit the post from a deflected shot, and Donal Casey made another great save, so it could have been a lot worse. But I was surprised, not surprised at the goals, but surprised that Bay conceded from free kicks, and I think they will be too. I think they're things that they kind of pride themselves on, and against Ballyhob in the relegation playoff, they were brilliant at the back. They gave nothing away from free kicks. Now the goal eventually that relegated them came from a corner and a kind of a mix-up, but on days like today, it's experience that counts, it's your finishing that counts, and it's just having that little extra step and a bit of know-how on occasions like this. And you look all over the pitch: JJ Hurley, Keith Jago, Rob Regan, Barry Driscoll, the 2 Barry Driscolls, and in goal a word 2 for Rob Oldham, keeping a clean sheet. Fair play to him. This was Drina's day, and I don't think Bay can really have any issues.
I think from having watched JJ play for a number of years in the backline for Drina, no one could doubt his aerial ability. For a man that might be lacking in a bit of height compared to some other guys, he can get up well.
I'm probably comparing him to myself there, to be fair. JJ's going a long, long time. I think he's got 7 Premier League medals or something, at least that. And it just shows you that the community spirit that's around the club as well in Canon Crowley Park, and what Don Hurley and Declan Deasy have kept together. And they spoke about the sacrifices, the effort that the squad put in year after year, and winning the cup, it's their second trophy. They could win a third one next weekend against Toher Celtic. They'll want to come back next year. They'll want the league off them.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask you. How do you think that I think it's going to be very competitive when you look the last 2 seasons, 2 different champions, neither of them being Drina as well, and Drina winning this, so it's going to be a very competitive top end of that league next year.
Even though Don and Declan won't say it, the players probably won't say it just yet. They want to enjoy this, and they want to focus on finishing off the campaign. They want that Premier Division title back, and they especially want it back off Dunmanway. I can tell you that for certain. It should make for a cracking season next year. I mean, you've Spartak Moscow back up from Division 1 as well.
Yeah, Power Day Walk, two seasons in a row, 2 promotions.
More than capable of holding their own. I've seen a good bit of them now as well. And you've got Clonakilty AFC, you've got Tor, so it's a quality Premier Division. But when it comes to cup competitions, I think the big thing about today is when Drina obviously will take the headlines, but the whole occasion and the history behind the West Cork League, playing it here at Turner's Cross and performing and putting on a great show, I think that's huge for the league going forward, that they can come back here again maybe next year or the year after. But fair play to Drina, and in fairness, commiserations to Bantry Bear Rovers, but the better team won, and the better finishing team won, definitely. And it points to a very, very competitive season next year, as you said, at the top tier.
Something to look forward to.
Oh yeah, always with the West Cork League. Yeah.
Ger, thanks very much for your time.
No bother.
Enjoy the rest of the evening.